national champion Christian Miller.
And knocked down again. It was Christian Miller.
Here is college football playoff national champion
Christian Miller
on Tide 100.9
and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
And welcome into this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys are excited for another fun one today. Yesterday, we were joined by Clint Lamb of Cover Crimson. Again, we do that every Tuesday at the top of the hour now. Good to hear from him. Really good stuff. He broke this game down, Alabama LSU, really well. Gave us some previews on some matchups he's looking at. Just overall thoughts. And if you guys missed that, don't worry. You can always go back and listen to it right here on our YouTube channel at the Miller's Edge. Just go pull up yesterday's episode, and it'll be about the halfway mark where it starts, and you can go watch that interview with Clint. Or you can always pull it up on whatever platform that you guys get your podcast from, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that. You can always go back and listen to previous episodes of the Miller's Edge there and go catch it there. Plus, I'll start cutting them up and posting those separate. That way you guys can directly just listen to it, because I know a lot of people really enjoy when we have guys like Clint on here and those types of interviews. And speaking of interviews, we'll do another one today. This time it's going to be a part two, right? Last week, if you guys remember, last Wednesday, we had former Alabama defensive back legend, crazy Tony Brown on the show, and we did a whole deep dive on a bunch of stuff, kind of his path here, our first time on campus together. You guys know how that story went. I'm not going to bring that back up. If you guys missed it, just go listen to the part one, right? It's on our YouTube channel as well. And we didn't get to, really dive into some of the deep stuff with Tony in terms of kind of what he's doing now, this Africa trip that completely transformed a lot in his life that I'm still very curious about. So we're going to do that at the top of the hour. We will be joined by Alabama legend Tony Brown again at the top of the hour. So make sure you guys are ready for that, because if you missed it last week, just know it's definitely going to be entertaining. Definitely going to be entertaining for sure. So we'll stick to this first hour. We'll focus a little bit more on, obviously, the playoff rankings, right? We're going to discuss that. We got some player interviews from yesterday. I know Ty Simpson spoke to the media. We'll play that for sure. And we'll discuss a little bit more about this Alabama LSU game in this first hour. Then hour number two, we're going to rock with Tony again and pick up where we left off on that interview. So that's what we've got in store for today. If you guys are just tuning in again, we always ask, if you're joining us on the stream, just drop us a like, subscribe if you haven't, all that good stuff. You guys know the drill. And if you're listening via Tide 100.9, great. We always welcome you guys. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys got that app if you haven't already. Tide 100.9 app right there in the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, all that good stuff. That way you can listen to us and all the other shows no matter where you're at. And even all the other stuff, whether it's the post-game stuff that I do, you can hear it on the app as well. Plus just the overall network coverage that always runs through the app as well. So make sure you guys get it if you haven't already. We are presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. Make sure you guys check them out again. Good Feet Kick for Cash Challenge is active. Make sure you guys go sign up right now. goodfeetkickforcash.com is the website. It's an easy process. All you need is your name and your email address, and you're signed up. If you get selected, you get a chance to win some free cash. All you got to do is make some field goals and make that sound pretty easy. But it does start easy. You got 10, 20, 30-yard attempts. If you make them all, you win a couple $1,000s. If you miss them all, don't worry. You still get to walk away with a prize from the Good Feet Store. So make sure you guys do that. Again, goodfeetkickforcash.com. Those are going on the home games. We got 3 straight. So make sure you guys are getting in on the action. Plus, you can always go check them out at the regular store, the Good Feet Store, right? If you're in need of any type of art support, or you're just looking to help eliminate and alleviate some pain that you might be dealing with, these things are game changers as well. Midtown Village here in Tuscaloosa, or just go to their website, goodfeet.com. If you're not local, you can always find the nearest location to you. Plus, you can schedule an appointment right there, get more information, but it's an easy process. Just throw them in your shoes and they get to work. That's all it takes. Again, that is the Good Feet Store, improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. All right, so a couple of little news and notes, and we'll dive into this when we come back, but I just want to go ahead and put it out there. We talked about our initial thoughts heading into last night, which was the first unveiling of the rankings for 2025. This season, the first rankings were unveiled last night on the ranking show. Chase, Reed, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Did I watch it? No, but I just watched. I kept refreshing uh, for the tweets to be dropped, and quickly found out that Alabama indeed came in at number 4. Not really any shocker there. We looked at it yesterday. We looked at the AP, Coach Bull, all that stuff, kind of figured more than likely Alabama is coming in at number 4. However, I think it might have been Phil that mentioned it. I know we talked about with Clint, they pretty much were setting the precedent for the remaining playoff rankings, right? Because we've seen in the past, once they kind of establish one of the precedents in terms of how they view, right, these matchups or these head-to-heads, or whether they're putting more emphasis on, the wins, right, quality wins versus the losses, all that good stuff. That was one thing that we were going to look for with those rankings. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute when we come back from our first time out here. But one of those things, I guess, would have been if Alabama was, in fact, above a team like Indiana or Texas A&M, even though those teams are undefeated. Why would they do that? I know you're probably like, well, that wouldn't make any sense. Well, technically it does. I mean, you got a team like BYU, who's also undefeated, and there's one-loss teams ahead of them. However, I think if anybody was going to be able to make that type of jump over an undefeated team like that, the only team would make sense would be Alabama, having literally 4 ranked wins. I mean, the strength of schedule clearly probably the hardest out of anybody of those top 10 teams. Not to mention those wins in a row, right? I mean, back to back to back to back, getting it done. Half of them coming on the road. Alabama, without a doubt, has the best resume in college football outside of the week 1 loss to Florida State. I say all that word salad to say they ended up coming in number 4. So we still see that they do value that 0, that egg, a little bit more than a one-loss team that has a hell of a strength of schedule and resume to go with it. So that was one precedent that we did learn. So doesn't really make a huge difference for Alabama. If you're a top 4 team, you still are a top 4 seed. You get to buy all that good stuff. Alabama's controlling their own destiny, right? I mean, if Alabama wins out, we've also learned that you don't really go backwards unless you do it to yourself. It can happen, but more than likely, Alabama controls their own destiny. If you want that top 4 seed, you want that bye, it's pretty much there for you. You just got to go take care of business. We're going to talk more about that and more. We'll dive in a little bit more in this Alabama-LSU matchup here in a minute. We'll hear from quarterback Ty Simpson, who spoke to the media yesterday post-practice. We'll do all that hour number 1, but then again, remember, hour number 2 will be joined by Tony Brown, Alabama legend. We'll pick up where we left off with the interview last week. Plus, if you guys have any questions for Tony, whether it's personal questions, right? He's open book, or any football questions, man, you always can drop those here on the chat on YouTube, on the stream at the Miller's Edge on YouTube, or in an app message. We'll make sure we check those extra carefully today. And you can always call in 205-342-9904 is the number. When we come back, we'll dive a little bit more into the playoff rankings that were unveiled last night. We'll hear from Ty Simpson and more right here on the Miller's Edge. Todd 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch sport experts. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
I'm attorney Stephen Mizrano. Did you know that insurance companies will only...
Oh, that's kind of tough. Dwight, the bold edge. That's kind of cool, man. I need to touch base with Slade. He's definitely back. Matter of fact, let me text him right now. Say Wednesday. I say we just run an episode on here without even the name right now. Highline Champs, Ice Tub Talk. And I ain't trying to jock Kevin Hart, man. He does the whole ice bath thing. Squib kick, onside kick. Notre Dame at number 10 is bias and BS. I don't want to hear any more SEC bias. They address this team first. Yeah, let me go. Let me put that on the screen for you guys real quick. Notre Dame's too high. They haven't done anything to deserve to be up there. Yeah, let's put this on the screen real quick. I got the list. I want the picture though. Let me see if I can get the graphic. Let me pull up the graphic. There we go. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty good. Let me see. I'll make this full screen. All right. Yeah. It's good. Let's see. So they have let's see, they got UVA for the ACC. I'm just so glad it's not like how it was last year. Wait, where's Miami at? I forgot. Hold on. Miami was at 18, Georgia Tech 17. I have to look at who did I gotta look. I feel like I'll put Georgia Tech over UVA, but I don't know. But I don't really watch ACC in depth like that. Hey, I got a question. What's B-Sci-Fi? I don't think I spelled it right, but I've seen it from former players and current players. It's basically the football fraternity. That Bama Sci-Fi. It's just for Alabama football players. There's not like some like rush you do. There's not like I'll be honest with you. I don't I think someone just came up with that like years ago. But it's not basically that is what it is. It's the Alabama football fraternity. The reason I say basically is because it's not like there's like a frat house. It's not like there's a rush or anything. There's nothing that even takes place. It's just the fact that is if you are a current or former Alabama football player, they just call it the B-Sci-Fi fraternity. Wouldn't be a bad idea to have that in the podcast name. Damn, that's actually a good idea. Right, that's the best way to put it. It's not like Greek or anything. It's just Bama Sci-Fi. I don't even know. I don't even know when it came out. I don't know if it's been like for years. I mean, I feel like it has because I mean, I'll see older former players. And when I say like older, I'm saying like somebody that's like in their 40s or something. Yeah, the Brotherhood, pretty much. And I'll hear them say it. So I imagine they were probably saying it too. I just know the chant that we always do in the tunnel, right? That always was like that was like the B-Sci-Fi chant. I don't even know when that was established, honestly, man. I just know when I got here in 2014, it was already a thing. So, um, yeah, I'll be honest with you, man. Now you guys got me interested. I don't even know exactly what I guess who or when it all started, but that's what it
That's
is.
code HAPPY for a 25 cents per gallon bone.
Yeah, the bold edge is dope too. It is dope. And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of Miller's Edge, tied 100.9, 1230. WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. All right, we're taking a look at it, guys. First, I almost said it again, not first ever. First of this year, the playoff rankings. The official rankings were unveiled last night. I got them pulled up here on the stream. You guys can see it. We talked about it. Alabama came in at number 4, right? 1 through 4 is pretty much the same. Not pretty, it is the same. It's what the AP has been, really 1 through 5. Matter of fact, let me compare I don't know why I want to do this. I kind of want to compare the AP to it just to see kind of where it kind of goes astray. I guess number 6 would be the first spot, excuse me. You've got Ole Miss at 6 versus the AP. They had Oregon at 6. Oregon ended up coming at number 9 on the official playoff rankings from last night. But just looking at it overall, if there were an official playoff bracket that was set last night, this is what it would be. Alabama would have the bye. Ohio State, Texas A&M, Indiana also would have byes. First round matchups would be Memphis would be a Group 5 team that gets in. Their one-loss team that lost coming to UAB of all teams. but they would be facing Georgia. Texas Tech would be facing Oregon. Virginia would be facing Ole Miss. Notre Dame would be facing BYU. And by the way, I guess it'd be maybe not necessarily safe to assume, but I think we all could say this. Probably safe to assume that with Georgia matched up against Memphis, we would assume Georgia wins that game. Well, the winner of that game would go on to play Alabama, which, knowing how this normally works, man, that definitely is something that the committee would probably want to see. Those big rematches like those always are somehow one way or another end up falling into place, I feel like, at least for me. But that would be interesting, man, which I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like Georgia, they always say it's already tough to beat a really good team. It's even tougher to beat them twice. That definitely would be one hell of a matchup. I would be looking forward to seeing that for sure. I think probably the bottom bracket looks the most boring to me. You got Notre Dame and BYU playing. The winner of that plays Indiana. And I don't know. Chase, Reed, let me get y'all's thoughts real quick. Initially, the first ranking of the year, it comes out. What were y'all's initial thoughts? Any surprises on here? I know we got some folks in the chat. Not a fan of Notre Dame. Definitely feel like they were rated a little too high in the first rankings last night. Anything else stand out to you guys?
I mean, I think that for the most part, it's pretty accurate for me. At least I can understand the whole thing regarding Notre Dame because they came out with the season 2 losses. One of them being to A&M at the 3 seed, the other one being to Miami, who just lost to SMU this last week. The one thing I'm kind of looking at, Christian, here is the 7 seed and the 8 seed. BYU and Texas Tech actually play each other this weekend at Texas Tech. So I think that will also change around things come this next week.
Yeah, no, I definitely will. I mean, looking at the AP, Notre Dame is actually right behind Texas. I'm all over the place. Texas Tech at 10. So let's look at who's behind them. Let me pull up the official rankings real quick, not look at the AP. You do have, let's see. Hold on. Why is this getting confused? I don't even see. Why do I always feel like I skip over it? Okay, there you go. Notre Dame at 10. You got Texas 11, Oklahoma 12, Utah 13, Virginia 14, Louisville 15. I guess we can just stop there. If we do feel like Notre Dame is too high, who will we put above them? That would be my question. I mean, you got a Texas team who also is a 2-loss team, one coming to Florida, the other one coming to number 1 ranked Ohio State. I guess that definitely could be an argument. We probably need to move on to, or at least look at, their records in terms of their wins, right? Strength of wins or those quality wins. Oklahoma, a 2-loss team. Ole Miss, and the other was to Texas. So I guess that's, you think about that. The thing is, guys, it will all work itself out. Oklahoma will have to travel to Tuscaloosa and play Alabama, which I'm sure Alabama will be favored in that game. I definitely think it's going to be a very competitive game. But if they do lose, they end up being a 3-loss team. It all works itself out. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. I don't keep up too much with a lot of these ACC teams. So without really pulling up their schedules and really taking a look at it, and I don't want to hold up too much time, I don't even know where those would fall. I will say, I mean, Notre Dame feels like, I feel like they always kind of get that. How do you explain it? Not like bias, but I don't know. I feel like they always kind of, they get like the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
I
like
guess
a leeway.
Yeah. I mean, and to be fair, I mean, those 2 losses, I know they came at the beginning of the year. They're good teams, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I know we had their schedules and whatnot pulled up. Matter of fact, I guess I could just click on them right here. Let's see. So Notre Dame remaining as Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, and Stanford. Like we talked about yesterday. I mean, they're probably going to win out. So more than likely, they'll probably find a way in there, given the fact that, let's go ahead and anticipate Alabama beats Oklahoma. They'll end up being a 3-loss team. Texas, we talked about the grueling 3 remaining games they have. Georgia, a very, I guess, an Arkansas team that's scrappy, I would use that term. And then you've got Texas A&M. So 2 top 5 games for your final 3 games. I mean, Texas is going to probably work themselves out of there, unfortunately. And those are the first 2 teams out right now. But I guess we'll have to see. But I would argue that if Notre Dame's already 10 right now, like we talked about earlier, it's hard for them to move teams back, especially if they end up winning out, because they kind of set a precedent. So if Notre Dame wins out, which is very likely or very possible, I should say, they're probably going to find themselves in there, unless you look at one of these other teams like Virginia, Louisville. Let's see their remaining games on their schedule. They could, as one-loss teams, maybe find themselves jumping a team like Notre Dame, Virginia. Again, I mean, the ACC is so trash. I mean, this is Virginia's resume right now. Coastal Carolina, they lost to NC State, William Mary, Stanford, Florida State, Louisville, Washington State, North Carolina, and Cal. I mean, like, these teams don't play anybody, and their final games consist of Wake Forest, Duke, and Virginia Tech. So, I mean, the ACC is just a joke. And I hate being that guy. It sounds like I just trash the ACC any chance I get, but it's just crazy when you got people like Danny Cannell and others that literally they'll have one team that, Clemson. Look, I'll give all respect to Clemson. Clemson, for my years, they were solid. Like they were a really good team, good program. But I mean, it's just, other than that, man, it's honestly a joke, man. And looking at Louisville, I mean, they've got Cal, they've got Clemson, SMU, and Kentucky. So very likely or possible these teams win out. Maybe they squeeze in there for one of those final spots. But it's just crazy because if you think about it, if you look at an Oklahoma team that has 3 losses or a Texas team that could have 3 losses, I don't care about the whole 3-loss versus 1-loss thing. Who are you guys going to – who's going to be favored in the game? If you have a 3-loss Texas team versus a 1-loss Louisville team or a 1-loss Virginia, right? I mean, like, come on, man. Like, it's not even comparable, man. Like Oklahoma, Texas, I don't care if they have 3 losses or not. They're much better football teams and much more dangerous of a team than those ACC teams. I'll give Georgia Tech, man, like I've watched them play. Like, I give some respect to Georgia Tech. Maybe I'm biased because I like Brent Key. I like the attitude. I mean, I know their schedule's just as bad as the other ones I just was hounding on, but at least Georgia Tech plays Georgia. I mean, and if they lose that game, they lose it. But they normally, they've played them very competitively over the last couple of years with Brent Key as the head coach. So I don't know. We'll see. Carson says, I was wrong. No Louisville, a lot of ball left. No, I mean, but we could see one of those teams. I mean, the 1-loss ACC team, we know, like we know the committee. They put a lot of respect on that one in the loss column. Even though, just like my argument, man. I mean, I would be much more afraid to play a 3-loss Texas or Oklahoma team than a 1-loss Louisville or UVA team. Personally, I mean, I think most people would agree with me. GT Georgia Tech had one bad game last week. Brent Key's building something there. Yeah, I mean, I get it. They're in the same realm with all the cupcake-ness, I guess, in that conference. But when you watch them play, I mean, I like their style. You know what I mean? Like they take on the persona of their coach. So probably being biased there, but is what it is. That being said, there's one more thing I wanted to. QD had this point. This question, I was wondering too, y'all's thoughts at least. QD said, I would not want that rematch with Georgia, which again, if everything was set last night, that was what it would be. Georgia would play Memphis in the first round. Safe to assume that Georgia would go on to beat the 12th seed Memphis, and they would be set up with a rematch with Alabama in the quarterfinals. I actually have to agree with QD. I wouldn't want that game either, man. I understand Georgia is definitely a second half team. I understand that, they look vulnerable, and then it's like they find a way. They have the will to win. I just, again, I know how it is, man. Beating a team twice is tough, especially a good coach team like that. It's a very tough team. I feel like they are definitely improving. I know they're still not perfect. I know Florida definitely played them tough, but you got to remember that's a rivalry game. Florida's always going to play those guys tough. I personally would probably want to avoid Georgia. That's not me being scary. That's not me, trying to back down from anything. But I just know getting those guys again, knowing that they now have tape on you, from this year with this personnel, they're going to have that kind of that vengeance, wanting to get their lick back. Probably would rather avoid that one if possible. But I don't know. Reed, Chase, what do you guys think about that, man? Would you kind of be a little worried about a rematch, potential rematch with Georgia in the quarterfinals.
Oh, 100%. I mean, come on now. I think every game that we play with them has just been so, and especially I wouldn't say it's a rivalry game, but just recently how those games have been so competitive that if we slip up a few times and they play their best game, they come with their A game, we could slip up and our like season could be over with, you know? But the same could go vice versa for them.
100%. Yeah, and you look back on the game. I know it was at Georgia, so we already had that uphill battle. But it was a really close game. I mean, they held us scoreless in that second half, man. And I would argue that Gunnar Stoudemire, he's playing some really good football right now. I think, he's playing better than he was the week we faced him for sure. And if he was able to get some more stuff going in that game, I mean, they definitely would have probably had a better chance of winning it, given how their defense played in the second half. But that definitely would be a hell of a game. I know everybody be tuned into it, man. But anyway, definitely wanted to hit on this. If you guys have any thoughts, questions about it, man, drop them down in the comment section. Hit us up on the phone lines, 205-342-9904. Just wanted to bring that to y'all's attention again. First, playoff rankings unveiled last night. Alabama coming in at number 4. That would have them at that first round bye spot, which would be nice. Give you a chance to get healthy, scout some folks. However, I guess we could also look at it from the other perspective, Reed and Chase. Last season, I can't remember how it went, but a lot of those teams that got those buys, man, they struggled in those games. They did not look great. So I'm not saying you avoid the bye because of that, but you just got to make sure as a team, as a coach, you make sure those guys handle it the right way, because we did see how it went for a lot of those teams that did get buys last season. We got plenty of football to be played. I know there's still 3-4 games remaining on team schedule. It seems like it's winding down quick, but you got to remember, that's a lot of football. And even though there's a few games, there could be some massive changes, and there will be, there will be massive changes moving forward. So this is the first one. Definitely fun to look at, fun to fool around with. But at the end of the day, man, Alabama controls their own destiny. And if you win out, you're more than likely going to be that top 4 seed like I'd imagine that they want to be. So let me know y'all's thoughts. We're going to hit a timeout. 205-342-9904 is the number. We got Tony Brown coming up at the top of the hour. We'll continue talking about this. If we got time right now, we'll hear from Ty Simpson. Plus, we still got to dive in a little bit more to that Alabama-LSU matchup. We talked about it with Clint. If you guys missed that yesterday, go check it out. But we'll continue diving into it as well. All that coming up right on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store. America's Art Sport Experts. Quick timeout. We'll be right back. Bama's way better since that Georgia game. I don't know if I would say we're way better. I definitely think we've improved and we've learned a lot. Because I thought we played solid in that game. I mean, you look at offensively that first half. I mean, we looked solid in that game. But second half, they made their adjustments, and obviously it definitely fared well for them. And defensively, I thought we played pretty solid in that game for the most part. Too many explosive runs. I mean, that is, I mean, for sure, it was a problem. But outside of the explosives, I thought we actually did pretty solid. Definitely agree we're better. Would I say we're way better? Like we've seen a massive jump since then. I mean, definitely, played even better against Vanderbilt, Missouri. I feel like that kind of, that game was a little up and down. Tennessee definitely played really good. And South Carolina, we saw that win. So I don't know if I would say way better, but I definitely would say we've learned a lot. We figured some things out, but we still have a little ways to go. Bama's got film from the UGA game too. Yeah, but I'm just saying from the perspective of the team that lost, the team that didn't have as much success. I mean, 100%. Yeah, I mean, it's a two-way street, 1,000%. We can see why we struggled to move the football in the second half, right? I mean, I understand all that. I'm just saying for those guys, when you lose, it's one thing, right? When you win, I guess it's also the same thing. But I just look at it from that perspective. You always want to go back to drawing board and say, hey, what could we have done better to win that football game? But you're right. Alabama could say the same thing. What could we have done better to have more success in that second half? I was just more referring to the fact that you saw what happened in the second half when Georgia was able to make folks just can't ever take their crimson glasses off. I know. That's why I don't know why I'm over explaining. But what was I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, the fact that you did see though when they made adjustments that second half. I mean, it was a little bit different of a ball game. I'm just saying, you probably could expect if you have a rematch with these guys, there's a good chance you see a little bit more of that, not just for one half, but a little bit more throughout the game. That's what I was saying. And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of Miller's Edge, Todd 100.9, 1230 WTBC. We're talking about that Georgia matchup, and Gotti says it doesn't matter because they can't stop our receivers. Well, technically kind of did that second half. So I don't know. Like I said, it would be an interesting game. I get it though. You guys are always going to be, you see no wrong in what we do, and it's everything is perfect and all that. I get it. I get it from y'all's perspective, but I just call it how it is, man. It definitely would be a tough matchup playing them for a second time. That's just a fact. I mean, that's everybody says that, man. It's tough to beat a team twice, especially a good team like that that's well coached. Definitely be tough, but make a hell of a game. I'm not saying we don't win. I'm just saying I think it'd be tough. All right, let's go to the phone lines 205-342-9904. We got Pat. Pat, welcome in.
Hey, good morning, my buddy. Hey, would Texas have to beat Georgia in order for us to get Ole Miss in the Sugar Bowl?
To get Ole Miss in the Sugar Bowl, I'll be honest, Pat. I'd have to pull up the other the other graphic that shows that stuff. I don't necessarily know. I think you said Georgia have to beat Ole Miss. Is that what you said?
No. I said would Texas.
Oh, Texas. I'm sorry. So Texas beats Georgia. Georgia would be at 2 losses, and then you said so we would get who in the Sugar Bowl?
That's what I said. I'd heard we'd possibly get Ole Miss in the Sugar if everything stayed and we won the SEC championship.
I'll be completely honest with you, Pat. I don't have that graphic up that shows the exact games and which ones those were.
Okay. I thought that's what y'all been doing is playing with.
Well, no, we're talking about the graphic that I have pulled up is from ESPN, but it doesn't show which games are which. So I'll be honest, I can't see which of those quarterfinal games are which and which spot we would need to be in, or they would. I'm assuming if you're saying the Sugar Bowl, that would have. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying if Ole Miss got bumped up, if Georgia loses, Ole Miss gets bumped up to 5.
Yeah.
Is that what? Yeah. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah. I mean, if Georgia loses, I mean, you'd assume that Ole Miss. I mean, they're right behind them. They push up, and I would assume they would beat Memphis. And if that's what the quarterfinal game was, again, I don't have it pulled up right now. I didn't go that far.
It's Ole Miss. It's Ole Miss in Memphis. I mean, I just had heard somebody else talking about it earlier today.
Yeah.
And, I just was wondering what you thought about that.
I mean, I would say this. I mean,
their offense is stout.
Their offense is really good. Their quarterback Chambers has been a really good player for them. He can make a lot of plays with his legs. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. That would kind of concern me, just knowing that, not like we're the only team that struggles with it, but we have. Granted, we did a pretty solid job with a guy like Lenore Sellers, but I just feel like Ole Miss's offense. It's not like that's the only thing they have. With Lenoris, they're a little more one-dimensional, right? They don't have that luxury. This guy with Ole Miss, they have a number of ways that they can attack you on top of his ability to extend plays with his legs. That would be a tough challenge. Now, the only thing with Ole Miss is their defense has just not been as good as they were last season. So I think that would end up being one of those games that could look like a shootout. You know what I mean? Where kind of going back and forth type deal.
Hey, tell your daddy that Missy don't stay off the show. That because he has an unbiased opinion, and I appreciate somebody seeing it from eyes that are not wearing crimson colored glasses.
Are you saying I wear crimson? Trust me, brother, I'm not wearing crimson glasses.
No. I'm saying I wear crimson colored glasses.
Oh, I was about to say. Well, trust me, I might
I'm
try to
not
word it
picking on
nicely
you
for you
right
guys,
now.
but I'm honest with you guys. Just like I'm telling we got one of our folks in the chat right now. I'm just telling them straight up. Like I know it's easy to say, "Oh, we're not scared of Georgia because we did this." No, I'm not saying that. I'm gonna tell you straight
I
up.
don't want
Georgia's a good
you know
football
how
team, man.
hard it is. Hey, you know how hard it is to beat the same team twice in 1 year? Very
Oh yeah,
difficult.
it is.
Very
It is.
difficult. And I don't want to have to. Number one, that's not good TV.
No, and if you don't think a guy like Kirby Smart would have extra
different.
motivation in that game after being embarrassed by us, and everybody already talking
Yeah,
about he has an Alabama problem,
but
trust me.
Kirby Smart don't want. When they say about we want Bama, Kirby don't want Bama. Kirby wants somebody else. He don't want Bama.
No, I wouldn't
And,
say he wants Bama, but if he did have Bama, I can guarantee you he would be sick and tired. I mean, everybody at this point, all they say is, "Oh, you got an Alabama problem." Oh, it wasn't just this. Oh, they beat you at home too.
Hey, if we beat Kirby again in in that game in New Orleans, or where we get the chance to play him, they liable to be saying Kirby can't win the big game.
No, 100%, and he don't want that. Trust me.
No. I mean, there's a lot of coaches that, of course, I don't know what his buyout is over there. Hey, but kind of money that he's already made, don't feel sorry for Kirby Smart. But don't. Hey, that's kind of like Dabo Sweeney. Hey, don't be feeling sorry. Don't be crying for Dabo.
No.
But
I don't think anybody's crying for. I wouldn't necessarily feel bad, but I mean, I just know that's got to be annoying as a coach like Kirby, man. You've got all the success, but then you've got the shadow looming over you of the former school that you coached and you have a lot of ties with, man. That's not fun.
I do know. Yeah, I do know that without Dabo Sweeney, that we're sitting with 19 or 20 championships legit. That that's 18. Now somebody was telling me, now see if you agree with this, that I'm under the impression that we will stay at 18. That our university will not claim 18 titles. So this won't be the 19th title that we win. That we'll stick with 18 legit titles. Have you heard anything about that?
No, and I don't know. I don't know why. You're saying if you win another championship, they just aren't going to add to the number.
Not going to go to 19. Going to stay at 18. Do the one way back when that was kind of one. It was like one of those ones that Auburn claims or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have no idea about that.
All those ones that Notre Dame claims are ridiculous too. Anyway, hey,
interesting
have
stuff.
a blessed day. Appreciate you taking the call, sir.
Always, Pat. Thank you, brother. Take care, man. Good deal. All right, we got to hit a timeout. That's interesting. There's no way. I mean, if you win another championship, regardless of people, arguing if some of the older ones are valid or not, I mean, you got to add. Well, you got to add to the number. There's no way you don't. No way. I don't know. We got to hit timeout. We come back. We keep on rolling. Remember, Tony Brown at the top of the hour. Part 2 of that interview coming up right here on the Miller's Edge. Todd 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
Weather brought to you by Tidwell Chiropractic.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. Some of these things that not necessarily. But some people bring me on here, man. I'm like, what? I don't know why we would not. I hear what he's saying, because if they're thinking, all right, one of the championships, if that's the case, why would you wait till you win another one? And if you think one of them is not valid, then you just go back now. You subtract one out. There's no validity to that. No offense to Pat, but there's just no. That wouldn't make sense. Yeah, if you guys haven't, man, drop that like, go ahead and subscribe, what's up, and share the video too, man. I think Dwight just did that. Share the video. That way everybody knows Tony will be back on here at 12. Man, I know a lot of people are anticipating getting him back on here. We just have to win out and we'll be seeded number 1. No, sir. Because I mean, if one of the undefeated teams has a loss, yes. Basically, if there's no other undefeated, I mean, I guess. Well, let's look at it. Texas A&M, they would have to get a loss because we'd end up playing them in the SEC championship game. If we win out, that means we beat them. Yes, we jumped them. But I'd argue if Ohio State or Indiana remains undefeated, it's evident, again, they set the precedent already, they're going to be that number 1 seed. So if either of those teams win out and remain undefeated all the way through the final rankings, they'll remain there. And then probably highest we'll climb is probably 2. Which at that point, guys, it really doesn't matter other than just kind of who you get matched up with. If we play UJB on a neutral site, I think the Big Ten winner is probably going to be number 1. Honest, yeah. Again, if they are you saying even if they get a loss? I mean, I think if it's comparing 2 one-loss teams at the top, our strength of schedule with our resume, with our wins, I think that would definitely supersede it. But if they win out, I think it's going to be them. But like I said, I mean, number 1, making the playoffs, I think we all can just be happy about that, given we didn't make it last year, which is cool. And then the first round bye, you automatically jump to the quarterfinals, which is great. So even if I think if Alabama's in the top 4, I mean, I don't, whether it's 1 or 4, doesn't even matter. I think you're just extremely pleased with, where we went from year 1 under the board to year 2, right? Especially given how difficult the schedule was, right? I mean, the fact that we ran through and again, I don't want to speak too soon. I know we still got ball to play, but I'm just speaking hypothetically. Much more difficult schedule than a lot of others. So exactly, Jake. That egg's going to carry a lot of weight for sure.
The Alabama Weather Network on Tide 100.9. It's 71 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store. America's Arch Sport Experts. We've been talking about the playoff rankings that were unveiled last night. Again, Alabama officially coming in at number 4 on the first playoff ranking unveil. That said, we got Tony Brown joining us at the top of the hour. Again, part 2 of that interview from last week, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let's jump over and hear from Ty Simpson, who spoke to the media yesterday, previewing this Alabama-LSU matchup ahead of it.
Good, man. How are you?
Great.
How's practice? How's the bye week for you?
It was great. Before we begin, I want to shout out the Harden family, Mr. Brian Harden. He unfortunately passed away yesterday. One, a great supporter of Alabama athletics and Alabama football. Let us go out there to hunt sometimes. So I'm going to keep, his family and everybody close to him in our prayers, man. So we'll miss him dearly, and God bless him. So I want to shout him and his family out before we begin. So,
what are some of those memories hunting on the Harden property?
Yeah, we went this year. I've been going since my freshman year. Became pretty close to Mr. Bryan. A lot of guys have, let us just something to get away from everything, right? And a guy who loves Alabama athletics and football dearly, and having gained a great man. Very, very heartbreaking, but he's in a better place, and praying for him and his family.
I know you guys have moved on from South Carolina, but Coach Grubb said that fourth quarter was maybe the biggest growth moment for you guys this season. Do you kind of see that? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, certainly, right. we'd like to start faster for one, but it's a kind of a testament to the guys of like just being resilient, and always chugging along and just going 1-0, right? Credit to the guys and just everything in general of just not looking at the scoreboard and keep playing, and being process oriented of just playing the next play. So we take it and learn from it and get ready for our next game.
He said you individually, though, did a good job of leading the guys on the sideline. How important is that to you to kind of keep the guys in it whenever you guys are maybe down and trying to rally?
Well, yeah, certainly, right? Just trying to get belief in the guys when, it kind of felt like the twilight zone, just everything, that we usually do good just wasn't going our way, you know what I mean? And, it wasn't just, me, it was, other guys like Parker, Germ, Jam, Josh, right, give us a spark. And even, when I was kind of, getting down, right, they're like, hey, let's go. We got you. You know what I mean? And so, that's just a testament to how close we are, right? Because, when somebody else is down, right, like it just puts belief in all of us. And, when somebody else said something, it's like, you know what? Yeah, like, let's go, man. Like, I'm ready to rock and roll. So, love those guys. And it was great.
Just how close did you feel on some of those deep balls? And what's the key to kind of connecting this?
Yeah, we worked on it a lot this week, right? And even last week of just, opportunities one-on-one, because this team this week is very good man coverage, right? And, we anticipate them playing man. And one, I need to give the guys a chance, right? And then two, we need to, be on the same page of, how we're going to run it and, the timing of it, right? But that's something that, we know that we need to work on, and we've gotten better at it since, we've been practicing. So excited to get an opportunity like that.
There's been a lot of talk about kind of the improvement of the run game. And I'm curious about, has there been talk about you kind of taking a little bit of that load and chucking and running a little bit more option?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. I think the quarterback, running game is a big part of, college football in general, right? Just because it gives the defense another thing to worry about. And then, it gives us another hat to be able to block, right? I think that, me running is an underrated part of my game. It's not my best game, right? But I can move a little bit. So any chance that, I can help the team, whether it's, taking off and running or, a design run or even an option, right? I'm all for it. So we got some stuff ready. But, like we always do, right? Just execute the play that's called.
What do you see in the LSU defense when you put them on tape?
Yeah, coaching change or not, right? It's the same players, they've been in every game, regardless of their record. I think that, by far one of the best defensive back ends in the league, right? If not the country, right? These guys play hard. They're in your face, right? They got good, coaches, with Coach Baker as their defensive coordinator, right? And it's going to be a challenge, right? Like any game in the SEC, coach is gone or not, right? Is hard. So, we need to be ready to go and understand that, like, hey, like these guys are going to come after you, and this is a part, of one of those games, right, where you stay at Alabama in my case, or you come to Alabama, right? Alabama versus LSU goes back to since we were kids, right, of the game of the century, 2019, game, right? All those players, and that's one of those type games, So it'll be exciting. Two good teams, two great matchups, and we're going to be ready to play.
Is there something you get a bigger understanding of where you guys stand on a national scale with the college football playoff rankings and things like that? Is that something even on your radar at this point with those first?
I mean, not really, no, right? Because at the end of the day, right, like if we don't play up to our standard these next couple games, none of it matters. You know what I mean? Like we have to take one game at a time and, go 1-0, as we say, right? Because, rankings don't mean anything, like we've had, it was a tough stretch ahead or in the back end, right? But it's a tougher stretch ahead, right? We say, you're remembered for what you do in November, right? Well, these next couple games are how you're going to be remembered, right? How you play, when people are tired, they're hurt, it's a long season, right? We got, 4 good teams ahead of us. Like we need to be, ready to rock and roll and understand like, hey, when we come to Alabama, we, pull ourselves apart in November by, being resilient and being ready to go beat anybody.
Is it with the weather and with the, just the month of November, does that kind of amp up the intensity for y'all a little bit? What's the month of November like for you?
Yeah, it's football. You know what I mean? Like, it's on the back end. The basketball game yesterday, right? It's like, dang, I remember the first day of camp. So, that puts it in perspective. And then two, right? It's, where teams separate ourselves, right? I just said you're remembered for what you do in November. But in order to be remembered, what you did in November, it starts in September and October, right? And so, we've had a good September, October, and we need to make sure that, we don't piss it away and, just be glad we had, a good season in the front end, right? We need to finish it out and make sure that we come ready to play and we separate ourselves, these next couple games.
WTBC Tuscaloosa and W265CG Tuscaloosa, a Town Square media station. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Check.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Steve DeSager.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are 8-0
right,
after
now it's
winning
back.
the NBA's late game at the Clippers 126-107. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander with 30 points and 12 assists.
I swear, man, this mic drives me nuts sometimes. All right, good deal. There he is. All right, let me get this set up. Appreciate you guys telling me that. I was literally talking, doing the outro, and I'm like, hold on, I'm muted. I'm looking at them. Everything is all good, but golly. I gotta get my main setup back. Unfortunately, they told me I gotta bring it over to Best Buy to do it for whatever reason. But
The New
all
York
good,
Jets
man.
traded defensive back.
We're gonna make it roll. All right, let me get Tony on here. Let's see. There it is. Let me swap that. TB, can you hear me?
Bless, yes, I can.
Yes, sir. Oh man, let's do it.
Put this up now that I can see my screen a little better. Also a little too far.
Yes, sir.
All right.
No, I can't wait to hear all this, bro. I've been waiting. I feel like it's like a cliffhanger on like an episode, bro. I've been waiting to get this. I'm like, bro, I need to hear these this whole story.
I actually I need to piss for 2 seconds, bro.
Go ahead. Here, I'll take you off the screen. You're good. Good deal. Q06, what's up? Forgot to ask your thoughts on Quentin Williams getting traded. Man, look, man, when teams are in that rebuild mode, man, nobody's safe, right? Especially guys like that they know they can get a big return for. My thing is this: it's hard to find good quality NFL defensive tackles, and I think sometimes people forget how important defensive tackles are in terms of eating up blocks, penetrating, being disruptive. I mean, they're the first line. Keeping your linebackers clean. And a guy like Quentin, man, he does it all. I mean, like you're talking about great run defender. He definitely can get after the quarterback. So personally, I mean, I would trade Sauce Gardner way before I would a guy like Quentin Williams. No disrespect to Sauce. But cornerbacks, I feel like, I mean, you can find you a cornerback. And I'm not saying it's easy, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, I feel like it's easier to replace a cornerback than it is a quality NFL defensive tackle. But, it's just weird. If you look at the Dallas side of things, they end up with basically trading Micah Parsons for 2 defensive tackles and a pick. So that is, I don't know, kind of interesting. We'll see how it plays out, though.
4-time SEC champion and 2-time national champion Christian Miller.
Here is college football playoff national champion
Christian Miller
on Tide 100.9
and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. Hour number 2 officially underway. You guys know what that means. Like we've been talking about, we are now officially joined again by none other than Alabama legend Tony Brown. I don't need to give you guys the whole background on who he is. What you guys know who Tony is. You guys are very familiar with him. But do you, though? Do you know him on a deeper level? Well, if you don't, we're going to find out more today. Again, part 2. We had Tony last week. We did a deep dive on his journey to Alabama, his career here, talking about some stuff. Really was gold, getting his reaction to the whole Hunter Renfrow interview, all that stuff. But there's a lot left on the table, man. And we're going to discuss that today. Now, joining us, we've got Tony TB, the Apex Brown TV, man. What's up, man? Welcome in.
Bless. Like, again, thank you for having me. C-Mail, thank you for having me. To all the sponsors, thank you for everybody that put us together. Appreciate you, C-Mail.
Absolutely, bro. Always a great time, man. I'm excited for this. I said during the break, man, this is almost like a cliffhanger episode on the series, man, because we had to stop last week when it started to get really good. So now we're able to pick back up where we left off, which was we went through the college journey. We talked about that. Talk a little bit about pros too, but maybe not. We didn't get to dive too much in it though. If you wanted to touch on that, we can start there. Tell me how that. Yeah, I was about to say. Tell me about your career there, because you go undrafted. You initially signed with, who was it first? L.A. Chargers.
Yes.
You signed with L.A.
Yes.
But then you end up establishing yourself, and literally end up being, special teams A, killing it like that. Then you start getting opportunities, playing your natural position. You end up literally, signing multiple contracts and you make yourself a hell of a career, which you still are playing. You're just a free agent right now. Tell me how that was. And the other part of that question, Tony, is, was there anything that you learned while you were here that you brought with you that helped you with that journey, in the NFL? Because, you and I both know, it's a tough one. It's a grind. It's a business. Every single day you're competing. One day you got a guy next to you in the locker room. Next day he's gone. Anything that you learned here while you're at Bama that helps you with that whole process?
I'll say this out the gate. C-Mill knows this, so I just got to tell all the fans who are currently watching that I will definitely be in Tuscaloosa this weekend at the Alabama LSU game. I've not been back in Tuscaloosa for a game since I've left Alabama in 2018. I've not been back for a game in Tuscaloosa in dang near 8 years now. So this is my first game. I'm excited. So I had to let everybody know, all the fans know.
Thank you. I forgot.
I had to say that because I've not been back in town. So I know that there are a lot of Bama fans on this show. So I had to let you guys know that I am coming into town. Hopefully you see me. And
you got any plans? I was about to say, do you have any plans? I was tell them. I don't know if you have anything set up. I was going to say.
Yeah, not yet. I just wanted to let the fans know. I wanted to let the fans watching that may be at the game. I definitely will have something set up for a meet and greet. I'll be walking around. You guys will definitely be able to interact with Crazy Tony the Apex. I can't wait to interact with the Alabama fans. This is my first time in years. I know you guys are supporting me. Headed back into town. Now, C-Mill, the pros, right? How much time do we have?
We got to the top of the hour again. So, whatever you want to do. Yeah.
All right, I can make this work then. Yes. So pros, because I played for 6 teams over the span of 7 years, going into year 8 now. So I got to see a lot of different businesses and organizations around the NFL. I got to see 6 different coaching staff, 6 different GMs, 6 different owners, 6 different corporations, and how they went about and seeing each one of them do it differently. So it was a lot. My pro career was amazing, to put it in one word, because I think it's all about perspective. I think life is about perspective, in the sense that you can make the best out of your situation, or you can also, with that same thought, make the worst out of your situation and how you perceive it and how you go about it. So the way in which I perceived my NFL pro career was amazing, bro. Came in with the Chargers, released after training camp, signed to the Green Bay Packers, played the third week, got signed from practice squad, played the third week, rest of the season, played their second year, released, signed off waivers to Bengals, played there 2 years, released like week 9 or 10, then was working out, played with then got signed to the Raiders for the rest of the season. Next year signed with the Colts for 2 years, released at the end of the year, signed with the Browns after that, played for them last year, signed with them again this year, and released after preseason. I think it's all a blessing in that, it's an amazing journey. It still is, even being a free agent, navigating the space right now where I'm still training, I'm still going about doing what I'm doing, just not with the same structure as having a season for the amount of years that I have. And the thing that I always say that Alabama imparted on me, that I feel like gave me a leg up in the NFL, was just the how real it was to see guys that were doing well at what you're doing, and to have, in a for lack of better words, grown up a little bit, in a sense, with some guys that are very elite, and being around a group of very elite people and seeing how elite people compete and how that can translate into like performance and competition. I think that is one of the biggest things that I got from Bama, because it was a pool, it was a wealth, it was a pool of guys who thrived off of competition and who were very good athletes and who were big fish in their pond. Most of the guys that I played around were big fish in their pond. So I got a chance to be around big fish. I wasn't just the biggest fish in the pond, like as far as like what we was doing, and that was, that I feel taught me that intangible, that I feel like helped me have that grit to stay in the league as many years as I have. To say about Bama.
Absolutely. We got a question from one of our listeners. They asked, "Did you have a favorite stop so far in your career, like a different favorite not program, franchise, or team?" And then I want to piggyback off of that too. You spent time in Cleveland, a lot of time there. I know you got close with Shador. I saw, matter of fact, when you played my Panthers, y'all came in with the boom box, played his music, and sounds like you got a good relationship with him. So first question is, did you have a favorite stop so far? And two, tell me about that relationship with him. And he gets all this media attention, whether it's good or bad. A lot of people, definitely support him and want to see him do well. Others, kind of, throw shade at times and whatnot. I want to get your perspective on that, because you saw it up close and personal, just kind of how that's been with him and, that whole situation in Cleveland.
Did I have a favorite stop in the NFL? They're all amazing in their own right. It's kind of like with music. The last one is always going to be like the best one, because it was the next opportunity. So I would say just the Browns was my favorite spot. Just the guys, everything that. And then, but if you was to ask me, I might have said Indy is. It just because each team is different. So I wouldn't say, the last stop was my best stop. The Browns, for a short answer. And Shador is an amazing kid. He's an amazing young kid, an amazing young man that it was an honor to be able to be a conduit for any type of wisdom that he could use in order to become better in the field of which he's doing. I felt a responsibility as a father myself, as an athlete, as a competitor, a competitor, of like, just like there's, with football especially, there's this thing where there's always this underlying respect for excellence with football as it relates to like doesn't matter. Nothing kind of matters as it relates to excellence, and not to say that like that's of all encompassing. Like you can be the most crazy person and have excellence in sports, and nothing else matters. What I'm saying is that um you have a respect for a certain level of excellence, and he comes from a level of excellence that I respect very deeply. And shoot, his like I said, his father was at the Under Armour game too. I hurt my shoulder. He had some words he imparted to me that I feel like helped me have strength in a time when I needed some strength. So for me to be able to impart even a little bit, and that's I could, it could be nothing that he could maybe because he has everything he needs regardless if he had me or not. But if I could add anything too, you know what I mean that would I felt the responsibility to do that. So I feel like me even feeling that responsibility to do it in the way that he received it with open arms speaks at the type of young man he is. And I saw him compete in times when I think other people would not be able to. I saw him stand firm in times when I think that other people would not be able to. So I hold him at a very high regards as it relates to being a competitor, a football player, a quarterback, a son, and just a public figure for a lot of young men that look like myself and look like you, C-Mill. And just to see the love that he actually gets in real life is awesome. That part is awesome as well, and to see how he handles it is awesome. I'm excited to see what type of quarterback he becomes. I'm excited to see what else he does outside of football as well. He has great music, like you said. We walked in that day, and in support, I was in support of him. We had his music playing. That was my speaker. I wanted him to be as comfortable as possible on his first day of being a quarterback in the NFL.
He played good.
Yeah, I knew it was going to mean a lot, and so that's what we did. And so I wanted my dog to be, a lot of quarterback and corner. I think quarterback and corner, and I think offensive. No. Quarterback and corner, and probably offensive tackle are like the three positions where like the most important factor is like confidence, because you gotta like feel comfortable doing something that's uncomfortable, thinking that this is going to happen as a result. Like as a quarterback, I can throw it to a corner's head, but damn, is he going? It's like those type of things are like confidence is a super duper key factor, and I know that I want him to be confident going in there. So I went there asking what type of things you do at Colorado, and obviously these are the type of things that he did. He had his music playing. He came in. He felt comfortable. He was vibing to what he was vibing to. So it was a pleasure being able to be that for a young man, and to definitely see that he actually did well as well was completely awesome.
Absolutely. And I don't want to stir the pot, but I mean, I got to ask this question. I mean, a lot of people feel like the coach blackballs them. They're not really, invested in them like maybe the GM who drafted them or made that decision. You were there. I mean, I ain't trying to put you on the spot. I mean, but do you think that's true? Do you think he eats a fair shot, or do you think they kind of slide him a little bit? Because I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes listening to the head coach of the press conference, I see both sides. I understand on one end, I know how coaches are. They don't like distractions. They don't like things that they feel like take away from football. They try to keep the main thing. And when you're hounded on the same question about this one player every single week, I can see that being a little frustrating as a coach. And on the other end, sometimes I'm like, all right, man, like even when the dude is doing well, it's almost like pulling teeth to get them to kind of, I don't know, give them some credit. From your perspective, if you don't want to answer, you don't want to answer. I ain't trying to, put you on the spot. I know it's your team. You got relationships with those guys, but a lot of people kind of wondered that. I know myself for sure.
I think that no, honestly, I think that when and I don't want to go too deep. I don't know why I feel like I want to really answer this question for real so bad. Not even in the way that you think, but just in the sense that whenever things are done, and that's why that's why people can talk about it. You don't know unless you know. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that what I think or what I don't think isn't indicative of what's actually going on in that facility, because I know it's like I've been on so many different teams. I've seen how maybe this person makes decisions or this person make decisions, and I've been on the other end of like, I did this because of this, but then they thought I did this because of that. You see what I'm saying? Or or what things are said in press conferences, how sound bites are taken. You did what I'm saying? And I, as a man, I don't super indulge in a lot of it. So sometimes my only intake are sound bites or this. And my intake from being in the facility was I'm a defensive player. You see what I'm saying? So as far as how the offense was going, I can't speak to, as much as the offense, but I just know that like whenever he did get his opportunity, he did well. You know what I mean? In the second opportunity, he didn't do as well. But
the offensive line did not help him out.
Yeah.
I was
They
like,
did not
let's
help.
just call a spade a spade, bro. He was
Yeah,
running for
that
his
is a
life.
fact. That is a fact. But I am, like I said, I am excited to see how the kid plays whenever it does occur. I'm excited to see because I know he's a very good player.
No, he definitely is. I mean, somebody in the chat was saying they knew what they were getting when they drafted him. Yeah, I mean, like, you know you're gonna get, there's music on the side of things. You know that, the family comes from it. It gets a lot of attention, but I don't know. It just seems like to me, like in the NFL, it's interesting because you got the GM, right? You got the owner, and you got the coaches. They're supposed to be on the same page. Sometimes there's not always the best relationships there. I've seen that. I've experienced. It's interesting. But I didn't want to put you on the spot, but I was like, man, Tony would know better. And I know that comes up. It's on First Take all the time, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's, them saying something or he gets an opportunity, does well, but it doesn't go this way. I just had to ask you that. But speaking of the NFL, and real quick, we got LSU this week. You said it, and I appreciate you reminding me. You'll be here in town. First time going back to a game. So you guys listening, I know we've got a lot of listeners.
I'll be shirtless in the free games.
Whoa, wait. I was about to say, wait, is there a rule? Wait, you can be shirtless at the stadium. I know you're joking around, but I'm saying, people, the fans do it like with the paint stuff. So I mean, like, if you want it, I'm not telling you to do that. Pause. I'm not.
No, you good. There's no pause. I'm telling the fans now. They're gonna see shirtless Tony out there. Pre-game LSU. We're gonna recreate. We're gonna recreate the LSU walk. But I can't come with that. And if I come with that same level of animosity, then it might be against the rules. Like if I come with that level, if I come with that level of animosity, at that point, I know that it would be crossing the line. So, but I definitely, I'll be shirtless out there.
Well, I'll say this: definitely hit up JT and others if you haven't, just to make sure they get you squared away, because you'll be good getting the sideline thing for sure.
Okay.
But make sure you do that, and if you need any of their numbers, text me because I'll text you. They have been a little strict on some of that stuff from just getting people on the field. Yeah, getting people on the field a little bit, but don't worry. Once you're down there, it doesn't really matter. I guess you can probably do what you want to do. I don't think they're going to escort you off. We got to hit a timeout.
I'm just come out the jacket. I'm gonna have jacket. I'm gonna come out the jacket.
God, please do that. That would
the fans will be the fans. I hope the fans gonna be lit. What if the fans get super lit? I'm letting y'all know I'm gonna get y'all super lit. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine. I come out the jacket. Let's go.
Yeah, no, they need to get you on the jumbotron. They do on A-Day. They do little interviews and stuff. They just get you on the jumbotron pregame, and I'm telling you, that would make that would set the vibe for the game.
Yeah.
It's a night game too.
They
might be a little cold though.
They win by 56.
They got the spirit of the Apex with them. Hey,
y'all, I'll mess around. Listen, Tuscaloosa. Y'all are messing around and make me stay in Tuscaloosa. I'll stay. If this trip goes as planned, I might just stay in Tuscaloosa.
Hey man, you're always welcome. You got a spot here with me anytime you need it, man. And we gotta hit a quick timeout. When we come back, we talk a little NFL. We're gonna dive into not post NFL. Tony's still a free agent, but some stuff that he's been doing as of recent that we've all got a lot of questions for. And we'll ask him that when we come back after this quick timeout. So don't go anywhere. We're just getting started with Crazy Tony Brown, TB, the Apex, right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
Weather brought to you.
They said,
you said Power 109.
Tide 100.9.
Tide 100.9.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can send it to you. So flagship station here that covers all the Alabama sports and stuff like that. So we do the stream here, but really, I mean, like, we got a whole bunch of people listening on radio right now, just so you know. So
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, trust me, they're getting the message. This like the stream is like we're building it up, and it's kind of fun that we're doing it. It's just people like the element of seeing it. But
Yeah.
I always tell people, like, I mean, it's just a live radio show. So I mean, and people in Alabama love radio. You'd be surprised, man. So, there's a lot of in the cool thing.
I think I would surely be surprised. Like 100% would be surprised. On some like how often do I think about how much people listen to radio? On some shit in the life that I live. You know?
No, 100%. And it's funny because I forget sometimes because again, like when you're doing radio, you're not seeing these people, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And like we can pull up analytics and stuff, but it's hard to really gauge. But what we're always the two things that always remind me of how many people are literally listening to this every day is number one, anytime I'm out and about and I run into people, everybody says, "Man, I love your show." Like they always, but they say that before they even talk about like me playing, and it'll be people like it's one thing if I recognize somebody that calls in a lot or something, but these are people that like I've never met, never heard them call in. They're like, I don't get to call, but every day I'm listening, and I'm talking about every time I meet somebody, I say it, so I'm like, oh shit, like I forget, like everybody's really listening, and then Tony, the app you can listen to it anywhere, so it's not just radio like FM dial, like the app literally you download on your phone. We have listeners from New York, California, Texas, Louisiana, Florida. People they call in from all these places. So like, you got to think too. The Alabama brand is, I mean, it's worldwide. And so for people that want Alabama content, they have to listen to more local kind of stuff. And the only way they do that is by listening to like shows like mine. And it's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like, so I mean. Yeah, people they're always, oh, you got a podcast? I'm like, no. I have a radio show that you'd be shocked, man. It's it's fun, man. It's cool. It's definitely cool. But yeah, no, I'll definitely keep updating people that you're gonna be in town. That way they know. Because trust me, if they're listening right now, they'll be looking for you. Trust me.
Well, that's a bit.
But yeah, get with JT about like
No, send me all the contacts that you think that I need. I'm coming in. I have not been in town in 8 years. My first game back. Definitely want to be sidelined. I hit up Haha.
He'll definitely help set that up. Haha will definitely help set all that up. But I'll
send
send JT.
Yeah, send me JT and whoever else number you think I need for sure.
Yeah, because Ellis isn't working up here anymore.
Yeah, I know.
But JT's kind of like in that spot where he kind of handles all that stuff, and he'll get you squared away. And Miss Ashley too. Definitely text Miss Ashley. I'll send you her number too. They'll get you right. All right, we're about to come back here.
100.9.
And welcome back into this. You good? Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, where we're joined by Alabama legend Tony Brown. Right? Some people call him Crazy Tony for some of the antics that he just was talking about pregame, shirtless, didn't matter the weather. Walking through people's warm-ups, walking by coaches, staring people down. We got folks in the chat saying we need that Crazy Tony energy Saturday. No, we do, man. LSU's always it's always a fun one. I'll tell people, Tony, like, and you can attest to this. We viewed LSU the same way we viewed, the likes of Auburn, Tennessee. Like, I know that the rivalry might not have the same history to it, maybe in terms of like going back like that, but wouldn't you agree? What LSU week was always had us amped up, and I'm pretty sure you probably had some LSU moments as well. Do you have some pregame LSU? Isn't that one of the first moments you did the whole Crazy Tony thing? Am I remember that right?
So LSU is like LSU is just like Auburn, and I always tell people that ask like, what was the best games? Like people got to think like the years I was there 14 through 18. like we was the team that people was trying to like. I'm trying to get the NFL on. If I do anything, I can go to the league off of this film. So I was a part of those teams where teams coming in. So that's the base level of our games. You see what I'm saying? So then
Yeah.
on top of that, you got like the actual like history of the individuals with this school. We got to play them every year. So you got actual games really get close. Fans really make it an emotional thing where like, they can say, oh, this and that. But when you feel the vibe of them fans, you know it's a real rivalry. Like it don't matter like, oh, this might have more history or that history. When you go into that stadium and you feel the energy of how it is, here to feel the animosity, the venom between the fans that, as an athlete, you kind of are stepping into because you like, I'm trying to go to the next level. I didn't. Some people have lineage of like, oh, my father's father went to USC or something like that, and then they feel strongly about the university. But most of my athletes that I know kind of went to the university to do something else. So we are brought into like this tradition of like, oh, the hate between these two schools and stuff. So I would agree to you that like the LSU, like that was real rivalry. It felt just like Auburn. And I'll say Auburn's slight win, slight hedge. I ain't gonna lie. Auburn is a slight hedging out the LSU, like as far as the rivalry goes. But for me, as far as my games went with Auburn, because I lost to them boys too. So yeah. But it's very
The only
similar
one
to
we lost to. We never lost to Tennessee. We never lost to LSU.
That's
We
why I
only
say
lost to
they edge.
Auburn.
That's why I say they
And Ole
edge.
Miss. And Ole Miss.
They edge it out. They edge
Yeah.
it out and pause. And
Yeah.
Ole Miss too. Ole Miss.
Yeah, 14 and 15. That was a weird situation losing to them. But other than that, it's crazy. I was doing the math the other day on the show, Tony, and I was like, I think, and I was there actually. I redshirted, and I was like, man, I think through 5 years I lost 6 games, bro. And literally, and I was like, wait, to make it even crazier, Tony, I'm like, I think 3 of those were literally regular season games. The other 3 were like both season. It was Ohio State, and it was Clemson twice. I'm like, damn. Like, bro, we really ran the table. I'm like, bro, it honestly, it doesn't even make sense thinking about it. Watching college football now, I'm like, bro, I don't think people realize how special that. Again, I didn't even really realize what we were. It became a norm to us. Shoot, we were doing it. Like that was instilled in us. You come to Alabama, damn it, you're gonna win a championship. We're gonna win a whole bunch of football games, and we're gonna beat up on people. I mean, like we just thought it was normal. But now seeing and covering, college football the way I do, I'm like, hell no, that ain't normal. That ain't normal to have first rounders at every position on the defensive side of the ball and offensive side of the ball. Like crazy stuff. Tony, I know we got about 30 minutes, so I know this could take some time. So I want to jump into this because somebody even mentioned it. They mentioned the medallion that you're wearing. All right, actually, let me backtrack. What do you term? Give me the terms that you use for what you have, because again, we're going to dive into this Africa trip. As you guys have seen, if you follow Tony, Tony's always had his own style, had his own kind of vibe to him. But as of recent, has kind of taken a little bit more influence from what I would call like some African influence. So tell me this: I call it a staff that you carry. I don't know if that's the term. You correct me, please. But in our chat, is it a medallion? What do you call the piece that you're wearing that I see you wear all the time? Looks like a tortoise, maybe.
This you can call a scepter.
Scepter. Okay, I apologize.
Yeah,
Scepter.
It's a scepter. Okay. It's a bamboo scepter. For those on the radio that cannot see, it's about 6 feet. 6 feet 2 inches, 6 feet 1 inch long, maybe 4 inches in diameter, or not even 4 inches in diameter. The 4 inches in like around circumference, probably that's circumference, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's no, you're right.
Right. And it's bamboo. At the top of it, what I perceive to be the top, there's a skinnier piece of bamboo that sticks off, looks kind of like a toucan beak to a certain extent. Now, from maybe from first glance and maybe from 5 feet away, you would think that this is like sharp, but it's very dull. If you know anything about bamboo and you kind of know, you can feel that it's very dull at the top portion where the crooked beak is, and then at the bottom, what I perceive to be the bottom, it's like a hole in the bottom of it. So that's what it is. A scepter. It's a bamboo scepter that I attained from the Cape Coast, which is along the coast of Ghana.
Wow.
You can
Is it solid? Is it?
You can call 1 second. And this jewelry, you just call it jewelry, a necklace. It's a sea turtle. Yes, it's a sea turtle. And these are shells. Before they used paper money or any type of form of currency, they used these shells and they were called CDs. So that's what I got this jewelry in Accra as well.
So is this a scepter? Is it heavy? Is it solid? Is it hollow? Like, I mean, and the other question I have is, how the hell do you get that through the airport? Because I've seen you travel with that. And I was wondering, I'm like, all right, if you travel with the team, I mean, I know how security is with the team. I mean, it's a lot different. I don't think people understand how good we have. We just pull up to the plane, a couple people on the list, and they just, they check your bag, real quick. But brother, I've seen you travel with that. How the hell are you getting that on the airport? They just, I mean, you check it? Or
okay. So that's actually a cool story. The way that I travel with this is it's really been like trial and error since the first time that it was packed. Whenever I was coming back from Africa to America, they wrapped it for me. The policeman that I was with, whenever I was traveling out there with some people, and he wrapped it for me in plastic. And let me sidebar because this is kind of funny. My luggage got lost.
Oh.
So this was lost, and all my luggage. I had no luggage but my carry-on when I got back because I had to fly through London. And so I'm like, no. And this is post me, like, I'm like, dang, all my stuff is gone. 2 weeks later, maybe 2.5 weeks later, I pull up to my crib. This object is like just sitting in my front door, like sitting next to my door. I'm like, yo, it came back. It's real.
That's kind of crazy.
This after I already got it. That was because I haven't told the story of how I got it, but I'm just saying that was crazy that this got lost. I'm taking it back with me from Africa to America. It got lost, and like 2.5 weeks later, it was back on the
On
doorstep.
its way back.
But
that's crazy.
So the way I travel is it has to be covered. There's another way that I can't disclose completely right now. And maybe a glitch in the system, or actually it doesn't matter. Listen, so the way that I travel with this is that it's an assisted walking device, right? And so like a cane of such, if someone is in
They're
need of a
impaired.
cane, yes, or not even impaired. If someone walks with a cane, some people walk with a cane, but they can actually walk. Some people walk with things, but like you imagine like a monk, like if a monk with a staff comes in, like they have to figure out how in the system to how do I put this item down as something in the system. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I mean that's actually really smart. I mean, it serves a purpose, right? I mean, you've been beat up, banged up, played Alabama, played 6 different teams in 7 years. I mean, hell, I'm not gonna lie. I see how my dad walks. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, we probably could use some assistance. Let's do this because I know this is about to take a minute. Let's go ahead and hit this timeout to stay on schedule. Now that we kind of have an idea. So it's Tony's scepter. My apologies, I said staff. His scepter. And his jewelry, that's the term we're going with. It's a sea turtle and the shells that he has. He's going to explain how he attained those, where he got them, and how they came to be. When we come back after this quick timeout. You're listening to the Miller's Edge. We're joined by Alabama legend Tony Brown. Quick timeout. We'll be right back right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
How long is the break, you know?
Your flagship.
About 2-3 minutes.
2 minutes? Okay.
Yeah, you got time. I'll let me hit some of these questions. About 3.5. All right, cool. Where is it stored on the plane? Will it fit in the overhead? That's a good question too. I'll ask when he gets back. Y'all think teams would be that dominant in the era of NIL or transfer portal? Man, Tia, I'll be honest with you. Just joking with some of my teammates, we probably would have had a number of guys hit the portal. I'm just going to be completely honest. As much as we talk about how our guys were, we love the game, because that was true. We definitely played for love of the game. But I'm just going to call a spade a spade. If we did have the luxury of transferring and knowing we would be big targets, knowing that teams would be offering the amount of money that they are offering now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I ain't even going to hold you. Dudes would have been out of there. I mean, just being honest, I mean, think about it. Ruben didn't start until his junior year. It wasn't until my redshirt junior year I finally ended up, which I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit different because I knew I came in skinny as hell. I knew I was going to be. I was playing a long game. But Reggie Ragland, he didn't start till he was a junior at least. Even let's look at our class. Tony played early. Tony was one of the few. Tony played early. Rashawn played early. Marlon redshirted. Deshaun Hand got some snaps. Cam Robinson played the most. He was starting left tackle.
Yeah.
I think that's probably about Hootie played special teams. Sean Deion Hamilton played special teams.
Mm-hmm.
Big Frage redshirted. No, Big Frage got in the game.
He played. Week 1.
He played. Yep, he got in the game.
He was mad.
I need to check in with Big Frage, man.
Hey, man, shout out to Frazier, man. Are we live right now?
On YouTube, yeah, not on radio.
Hey, shout out to Frazier, man. I gotta tell the shout out to Frazier, man. We got some funny stories with Frazier, man.
No, I need to check in with him. He reached out. Did you sign up for the back pay stuff? The NCAA back? No.
Oh yeah, I did.
Okay, good. I was about to say, bro, I'm not gonna lie. That's one thing I was disappointed.
Talking about the check from the but how they pay it out is so weak sauce.
It's like over 10 years or something, and it's trash the way they're doing that. But no, I was upset that they didn't really. I thought our people here should have done a better job letting guys know. Because I'll be honest with you, the only way I found out is because I think Josh McMillan hit me up and told me. And I was like, bro, I have not received any information on this. And I think it's probably too late now. If you didn't sign up, you don't. And
I think it is too late. Not even too late, but like if you don't, if you can give
Yeah. And I was going to say, and what sucks is somebody, and I don't know if this is true, but somebody was like, well, the schools are having to, like, a lot of it they're paying, right? Like there is them and the NCAA. So somebody was saying schools are probably kind of doing that intentionally, so they maybe have a little bit less to pay up. I'm not accusing us of doing that. I don't know.
Crimson Pride Hunting and Fishing,
I would
Precision
hope that's
Armory,
not the case,
Junction
but-
Grocery, Urbans, Military Surplus,
Military, you gotta
RS,
think
and Adams
how
Heating
many
and Cooling.
older guys would have left.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
That's a good point, Jake. That's a good point. And welcome back in to this Wednesday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. Don't forget about our friends over at R&R Cigars real quick. They're doing a drive right now where they're trying to feed up to 5,000 families. That's their goal. So our friends over at R&R Cigars are doing that right now. And in return, if you go donate, and you can do that at R&R Cigars right there, 2703 Gary Fitz Street, they will give you 50% off of one cigar, right? So you're helping out families that might be struggling right now, and you get a big discount. Plus, you can always still use that code Miller's Edge for 20% off their website, rnrcigars.com. So don't forget about them. Again, if you need a place to go watch the games, they got the wraparound porch, TVs throughout, over 160 bourbons, great place to hang out, smoke cigars, and now they're doing a great cause right now, trying to feed 5,000 families. So go participate in that, whether you want the discount or not, but just know they will give you 50% off of one cigar if you do that, again, at R&R Cigars. All right, Tony, so let's do this. So there's one question I want you to hit real quick, then I want you to tell us about the Africa thing, because unfortunately we only got about 12 minutes, so we might have to be quicker. But one of our questions in the chat asked, how does it feel to know that you were a part of something so special that probably will never, ever be done again? The man's got to think deep on that one.
In the same sense that as how you get a new level of gratitude for life, like with each like sorrow or something that happens, is the same way that it's hard for me to even put in words, right? How it feels to, in a sense, have an understanding in the present that you were a part of something that could be immortalized in history. As an athlete, I think that's the goal from the level of from the day. I think that's the goal of all athletes, is to be immortalized in history in a way in which you feel like your athletic attributions did that. And so to step back now and to think that, oh yeah, well, based on historic facts of knowledge and statisticians, and what you've personally seen and what others personally say as well, and the popular opinion about something meeting like parallel to the statistical meaning of it, it's like it's hard to put it in words how like it would feel, because I'm a huge competitor. Obviously, I think that's one of the biggest things that I'm loved for, that I'm known for as a man, as a person, anybody that knows me. Like, so like it feels amazing, honestly. And it's like when you on like Christian and see Christian stress this to you guys, I'm a free agent right now, so I'm still training every day like I'm about to get signed right now. I'm ready to play for whoever's. If anybody as a GM is listening right now, or anybody's listening, I'm ready to play right now, 100%. And everybody that knows me knows me. I'm always training. That's a part of who I am. It's a part of my whole spirit and soul, which coincides with my song "Health is Wealth" as well. But like, as a competitor, to know that you were a part of something and you were a piece of it, like a factor in it. Like, I caught an interception in the national championship game where we won in overtime. We know now, the biggest things to win football games is turnovers and the explosive play. Can you stop the explosive play? Can you make the explosive play? Can you win a turnover margin? Those are the two things in football that are the most important. That when you play football, if you can win those two, it's I think 80+%, and that's crazy. It's a 80+% chance that you're going to win a game. So like, to know that I had a turnover in that big game is like it feels fulfilling, to say the very least, to think back on it.
No, you're right. Yeah, I had a sack in that game, and man, same deal. That's like, as an edge rusher, that's all we really not pursuing, but you get what I'm saying. That's what we live off of. And getting that in that game, and now looking back on how special that game was, it's like, damn, man, that's forever cemented. And with you coming back, don't forget, man. I mean, it is immortalized, right? Your name is etched in front of the stadium. Tony Brown, right? It doesn't have the apex there. Maybe they can go back and add it, but hey, it's in there for not just one, but 2 national championships. So you're right, definitely forever history. All right, I want to jump in this because I know radio-wise we got a little less than 10 minutes. So if you want to try to tell a fast-paced version of it, or if you want to hang and get
I'll
it,
say this. I'll say this. And the Miller's Edge probably has a new co-host. I'm letting you guys know this now. Miller's Edge probably has a new co-host right now. I don't want you guys to think that I don't want to shortchange anything that I say, because as who I am as a person, there's a lot of depth to me as a person, and I never want to paraphrase something that means a lot to me. This trip to Africa meant a lot to me because it changed my outlook on certain things internally, which also showed externally in myself and came in the form of the staff as well. So I don't want to shortchange that. And I can't stress enough to all the radio listeners listening. We really do like you might not think, but it's a battle of attrition, I think, as it relates to positivity and negativity that you create around yourself and that the people that you affect create around you. And that's how your world is ran. That's what I believe. So I would say to all the viewers and fans, the positivity is felt. I do appreciate all the fans, and I would show my appreciation through allowing people to be able to hear what I really want to say, not what kind of like what would be like service level stuff. What would be the easy? What would be the easy thing? I really want to thank Christian Miller of the Miller's Edge, honestly, for allowing me on his show, for allowing me to speak to the fans that mean a lot to me. Alabama was a big piece in my story, in my development as a man, in my development as an athlete as well. You know, I love to finish with this as well, just to go into, you know, my father had a stroke when I was 16. I was also sophomore after my sophomore year. So like even in my development as a man, I didn't have no brothers either. So like a lot of them guys that I had at Alabama was looked at as like real close brothers, like to me in my development as a young man as well. So the university, those years, it means a lot to me. And it also means a lot to me that it meant something to the fans that I brought a level of intensity and competition to the game that I think is needed in life and honest, not just in sports, in life. And that's why I think the fans gravitated towards that part of me as an athlete. And every time I speak to you guys, I'm gonna be able to speak positivity, hopefully I'll speak positivity into you guys. Hopefully you guys send it in the air for the Alabama athletes. I've been a college athlete before, and it's not easy being a college athlete, being held to a high standard. So the best thing you can do as a fan is at the least send positivity to the way of the team this weekend versus LSU. I'll be there to everybody hearing, listening, watching. I will be at that game. Very excited for that game. If you are excited, just send the good vibes to the young guys there. I'll be there in attendance, telling the guys some great things. And you know, I would say as it relates to Africa, I would tell any listener to it's never too late to redefine yourself or to continue to dig deeper into who you are as a person, and don't be afraid to learn more about yourself. That's the cool thing about life is you continue to live, that sometimes things are never the same. So, you know, I found something new that doesn't necessarily not make me crazy Tony. That's a piece of who I am. I just became the apex. It's like, you know, it's like like morphing it or becoming something does not make you not that. It makes it as where you've become something more. Whenever you that molting, that's like a piece of life. You know what I mean? Like snakes shed and molt when they get larger. Caterpillars turn to butterflies. But it does not mean a butterfly was not a caterpillar. It's just that that is what it is. So I do appreciate the term crazy Tony and everything that it embodies as a competitor. But I am the apex now, and I'll continue to say Tony, crazy Tony, the apex. But I don't want the fans to misrepresent or misunderstand that I'm not crazy Tony. That's who I am, and but I am also the apex. And Africa was something that did that. You know, I was welcomed open arm by people that, you know, and I'll say this too at the beginning of it. It could have been Papua New Guinea. If that would have happened, and if they listen, no, it actually, let me even get a little funnier with it. It could have been Ireland. It could have actually been Britain. It could have actually been Britain. I could have pulled up to Britain. In the events that occurred. Listen, in the events
Come on, man. Would you have come back with the accent from Britain too? Come on,
Listen,
man.
if the events that occurred would have occurred in the way that they did, it would have done the same thing, I think. But just, and it does matter that where it was at. All that does matter. But I say that to say the deeper meaning of it is there's power in faith, which is believing in something greater than yourself. And so whenever you have that, whenever you're able to even gain a little ounce of that faith in the believing in something greater than yourself, it allows you to pull in a wealth of strength that you didn't think that you could have, right? And that's what I'm saying is underneath. That's why I made a joke to say it's yes, it was Africa. Yes, I'm a melanated person. Yes, that's the motherland. But underneath all of that is that idea that is why it means a lot to me, that trip and what I got from that, what the staff means, and what I'll talk about as the weeks go on.
I mean, this is gonna be like, this reminds me of you remember Speaker Knockers? He was a rapper.
Speaker Knockers? I think I remember.
You probably heard of him back in the day.
I heard about what happened to him.
Yeah, unfortunately, he passed. The reason I say that is, so he's from my hometown. He went to one of my rival high schools, but he had a series of songs that he made, and each song was it was like called Rico's Story, and the story just kept progressing. I feel like that's what we're building right now with Tony the Apex Brown, because like Tony said, man, so we didn't dive into the African thing we thought we were going to. We had a lot of other good stuff to talk about, so now it's another cliffhanger. He laid it really nice though. He gave us, we dipped our toes in the water. Now we got to do it again. So you're right. We'll just make this every Wednesday right now while Tony's still available, man. Let's get Tony on here, and we'll continue on his journey. And we'll start tying some more football stuff in it too, because I know Tony's got plenty of thoughts on that too. For our radio listeners, let me go ahead and close this out real quick. Appreciate all you guys. Again, we'll make sure we do it again here tomorrow. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. And when we come back tomorrow, we'll definitely dive into Alabama LSU preview and all that stuff. This has been the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Daily.
All right, good deal. So I had to close this out on radio real quick. Reed, Chase, appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, sorry, the audio was a little loud right there for a second, but yeah, appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, we'll get it running tomorrow. I think there'll be a documentary on the Saving Dynasty. Yeah, I mean, I know Marlon and Castile did that movie that included a lot from that, but I'm sure there'll be like an actual official thing at some point. What was I about to say? TB, when you get into town?
I leave today's Wednesday. I leave Thursday. I'm getting in Thursday. Okay. I get in Thursday.
Yeah, let me know.
I'm getting in Thursday for sure. For sure, I'm getting in Thursday because I gotta go do some stuff as it relates to my music, because I got 2 more songs going to come out: Humankind and Happy for Me. Humankind, awesome song. You guys gonna love. You're gonna love to
name of that one.
You're gonna love. You're gonna love.
There's a couple on the EP album thing that you sent me. There's a couple on there. I'm forgetting the name of it though.
You talking about? I did send you that. Yeah. I sent you.
Yeah, it was tough. Damn, I got it pulled up. I meant to tell my producers on the radio side of things to use it.
They gotta play Held This Well. They have to.
Yeah, I meant I was about to do it myself. What's crazy was I pulled it up, but I was going to do it myself, but I forgot to tell them ahead of time. I didn't want to have 2 different things playing at once. I'll tell them next time you come on.
It's no curse words, so it's not going to the Bible. No, I'm not worried about it. No curse word, even because let me see, Happy for Me. My first 3 songs, there are no curse words in none of them.
All right,
and I'll tell you guys the hook. The hook for Humankind is why these men so evil. I thought humankind. Yeah,
wait, was that on the thing you sent me?
Yeah.
I don't even know if it'll let me pull it up no more.
No, I had to turn it off.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I tried pulling it
that
up.
was like a projected. And then I'm like, okay, I'm locked in. Like once the song is locked in, I can't just have it floating around there like that right now.
Yeah,
I can resend it though. I can resend it.
No, you're good. No, you're good. No, I was gonna see if I could try to pull it up and we could play some stuff from there. But just we'll do Health as Well. If you want, shoot, I know. I mean, if you want to come on again next Wednesday, we can kind of start doing it once a week.
No, I'm saying, yeah. I wanted to see, honestly, and for all the viewers right now, for just to get a laugh, I wanted to say that on air to see Bill to see his reaction. Because I haven't, like, me and C Mill are actually close friends, bro. Like, and the funny thing is, I haven't talked to C Mill in years, and we don't. It's not like me and C Mill talk every day. We are very close friends, right? Like super behind the camera. Yes, you know what I mean? Like behind this for sure. Like you play around with C-Mill, I'm not playing by my dog C-Mill, right? And like likewise, but yeah. I definitely gonna be here Wednesdays, bro. I'm gonna be available. I think that I actually have a good message to say to whoever is listening. And any chance I get it to speak, and like I said, to possibly impart a little bit of like a positive charge onto somebody, bro. All that's doing is making it better. How could you that helps fill my cup. You know what I mean? So and with my dog, and it's like talking with you is easy. It's like talking with you is easy and people want to hear. And I got something to say. Oh man, let's start getting it in. Let's start doing it. And I know if I can do anything or create anything of substance, I'm gonna create it with my dog. My dog C Bill got something to say. Okay, let's do it.
No, we definitely do it. So we'll just start doing this Wednesdays at the top of the hour. Then now that I know that I'll try to not schedule, but I'll make sure we don't spend as much on some of the other stuff. That way you get plenty of time to talk about that. I'll manage the time a little bit better now that I know that we'll kind of do it a little bit more frequently. The other thing I was going to say is too, we can get multiple people on here too. So I was going to tell you, shoot, if you want to get Blade on here or text him and see if he's free. Either next Wednesday or if you want to spend next Wednesday to dive in that story, because I know it's going to take some time.
I like getting Blade on here. I'm gonna see. I can definitely get Blade on here.
Yeah, I was.
He gonna be free on the Wednesdays for sure.
Yeah, I was about to say, because then we can start fooling around with that. Then y'all can kind of start getting y'all's little feel for if y'all end up rocking and rolling with that thing we talked about.
Yeah, I agree.
I just because honestly, the thing is, bro, we can sit on here and just shoot the shit, and it would just. I'm telling you, bro, it's just going to be so organic that it's not even going to take nothing, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like strapping a rock to it, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Between y'all
two, I fervently agree.
No, I'm telling you, bro. That's why I said. That's why when I told you and I thought about, I'm sitting thinking, I'm like, bro, the amount of times I've like just been around these dudes and they are just like, I'm dying laughing, bro. I'm like, it'll like be like strapping a rocket to it, bro. I mean, it'd be. Yeah, we got to do that for sure. What the hell is going on with these damn dogs? But yeah, so I think my brother just got here. But my dogs are going crazy. I was going to say though, yeah, let me know when you get here though, and I'm gonna shoot you JT's contact and probably Miss Ashley's too if you don't have it, just in case if you need anything. They'll take care of you. But I want to say, I don't know when you get here Thursday, but they practice in the mornings though. So I was gonna say if you wanted to go by practice.
What time do they practice?
Bro, it's at like 9. It's probably gonna be too early. But still go ahead, go to the complex though and go holler. And you got
I'm working out with High Friday.
Oh, bet. Yeah, I was about to say.
I might try to leave. I might try to leave tonight. If I left tonight, I would get in at 9 something.
If you do that, you probably could catch practice because Fridays they don't. Like we used to do walkthroughs, so I don't think they do that. I think
Friday night game.
Yeah, their schedule's different, bro. I don't think they really do any of that on a Friday like we did. I could be wrong, but from my understanding, I don't think they do like the walk like we used to do.
That's fine. If I can go to practice,
no, it wouldn't be no big deal. But I was just saying, if you wanted to, they do.
I do want to see them though.
11
in person. I want to see them like practice and shit in person.
It's cool, man. The new coach is really cool. Coach DeBoer is a good dude. He's a super nice guy. He'll if he had you at practice, he'd even ask if you wanted to talk to him. Like he's very respectful of former players and stuff like that. Like there's no weird energy or nothing. I know sometimes I mean it's a little different when you first get there and you see there's a lot of new faces, but there's still like Jamie. Jamie's the assistant defensive line coach. Moses.
I happened to be there during their football camp. DeBoer wasn't there. I met the receivers coach. I met the GM. Coach Roach was there. and I ain't all the coaches wasn't there, but I met some
Oh
of
yeah,
the coaches.
so you met some. Yeah, okay,
Uh-huh.
okay. So yeah, you met some. Yeah, they're good people though. They're cool as hell, man. I was really thankful, like, 'cause I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was like, bro, if they end up being, because I heard Brian Kelly wasn't allowing LSU former players to go back there, which is crazy. Yeah, bro. When he got fired, a lot of these former dudes were like celebrating. I was like, I wonder why everybody's acting like that. But yeah, word is that he didn't really let former players go back on campus like that. And you're talking about LSU, man. They got dudes, bro.
Brian,
That's crazy.
What did he ever speak on in publicly the logic behind that, or was that just speculation between the players?
I think just speculation. I think players talking about that, but I mean, to be fair, like, I understand, like, say you can't have an open door policy. Like, I'm not gonna name names, but I mean, like, there was one dude, for example, I think that was like trying to like crash up at the complex briefly. Like, and that's kind of, you know what I'm saying, like, you can't have that. So obviously there needs to be some type of policy in place. Like, no, and I mean, and to be fair, I mean, folks probably need some help with some stuff, cool, but like, I mean, that's like a safety thing, because you got other athletes and people coming through. So I don't know. So I get there being rules and stuff, but like not welcoming former players, especially at a place like LSU, that's crazy, bro. Which, I mean, and I don't know exactly, because I mean, I see a lot. They got a lot of former players on the sideline, but they're making it seem like just kind of coming around the building and stuff, like how they let us. It made it seem like that wasn't really a big thing. I mean, I'm sure if it was like JJ, right, Justin Jefferson or somebody, it's probably a little bit different. But like for us, I mean, you don't have to be. I don't know.
And Brian Kelly, Jefferson, that should probably make front page news.
Yeah, no, I didn't know what he would do nothing stupid like that. But I think it was just kind of like in general, bro. But yeah, no, that's just crazy. That's what I heard though. And I saw former players like tweeting stuff, almost like they're glad he was gone. So
really,
kind of connecting the dots, yeah. Kind of connecting the dots, bro.
That makes sense.
But yeah, bro, shoot, I'll definitely try to get up with you. You said Friday for sure that you working out with Haha.
No, I gotta. So I'm headed. We live still?
Oh yeah, let me close this out.
I'm about to have somebody on my trail.
If you do want to catch Tony, he is going to be in town. Make sure you guys find him. He's not hard to find. I mean, he sticks out, so he will be in town.
I have a meet and greet set up. I'll have a meet and greet set up though for sure for Crazy Tony.
You need to if you don't have anything set up in concrete, you need to reach out to Justin, those guys at the Bama Standard. I know you work with them. I know they work with like Olivia with the Bryant Museum.
Really?
She might. Well, yeah. I mean, I know Olivia too. I can send you her number. She could probably set something up at like the Bryant Museum for you. Like if you, I know you could probably set it up wherever, but I think that'd be a little bit more organized. She could help organize it for you. That way you're not.
Do I know who Olivia is? Do I remember?
I probably not, because I ended up really getting to meet her like after we were done here. But she runs everything at the Bryant Museum, which is right across from the complex.
Oh, okay.
You know. Remember the hotel we stay in, obviously across the street. Yeah. Remember that Bryant Museum that's connected where we used to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like we're on the other side of where we used to eat.
We used to walk past it. We used to walk past it when we had night games. We did our little.
Yeah, exactly. So instead of going into the dining area, if you go straight where the museum is, they got like Alabama artifacts, like little displays and shit.
Mm-hmm.
She runs that, and so they've done their podcast in there before, and like they've set up stuff where like Reggie, Bo, and some of those guys like did some signing stuff. I wish I would have known. I mean, because it's a big game, it's a night game, man. We probably could have set something up where we could have like invited a number of former guys, and it really probably would have been.
It's Wednesday now, so is it too late?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's too late. It'd be hard.
Blade gonna call me back. I called him this morning. He gonna call me back. I think he's in Alabama.
Well, I was about to say, bro, I used to do my show at a restaurant on Fridays. I haven't done it this year yet. I technically could just text him and just tell him like, let us pull.
What restaurant?
Have you? Oh, damn, I don't know if it was a thing when it's called 1225.
Where is it at?
It's on the strip. It's literally like right near the stadium. It's newer. It wasn't here when we were here. You know where Rounders is?
Yeah.
It's literally like 2 doors down from Rounders. It's like right there in the thick of the strip. Yeah, it's in the thick of the strip, but I mean, shoot, he'd be glad to have anybody show up there. And if not there, my brother, he does DJ and stuff. Well, there's a brand new. Well,
Your brother's a DJ?
Yeah, he plays like all over the Southeast. You need to get with him on music.
He gonna be in town, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, nah, he's got shows at Mississippi State. I mean, like technically, like he'll be around, but he's not gonna be here Friday or Saturday evening.
Okay.
But I mean, like he'll probably be here. He stays here right now. So let me close this out real quick. All right,
Yeah,
for everybody
go
on the channel, appreciate you guys. You guys already know the drill. We'll be back here tomorrow. Tony's gonna be back with us next Wednesday, and we'll see you guys then.